If you're just starting out on your Insta360 RS journey, then you've just grabbed this camera and you want to know some of the best settings and things to change and how to use it best, then this is a video for you. Today we're going to go over 5 things that you might need to know when you first get this camera, some settings to change to get the best user experience out of this brilliant action camera. First, please make sure you do subscribe, press the bell so you don't miss any future uploads. We've got lots of Insta360 stuff on the way, accessories and all sorts of things to test out, so stay tuned, new tech videos every single week. So to get to the settings on the Insta360 ONE RS, basically you have to swipe down from the top of the screen and you'll come across a load of different options that you can change and tweak and have a little bit of a play with to see what suits you best. But the first one I recommend that you change is the sharpness. It comes default with very high sharpness, and because this is a high megapixel camera, it's a 48 megapixel camera, when shooting video you might get a bit of artifacting in the video because of that really high sharpness. So I fully recommend you turning the sharpness down to medium. To do that, you go to the settings, go across to general, scroll down and you'll see sharpness. Change it from very high to medium and then you'll see a notable difference in the footage. It'll seem a little bit softer, but that's the kind of look that you want from a camera. You don't really want that action camera look, if you know what I mean. You want it to be a little bit more realistic, and if you turn the sharpness down to medium you will get that. Also, if you want to get some cinematic footage with that 6K that this 4K boost lens can shoot with, it does look a lot better in the standard picture profile and sharpness set to medium, and then you can play around with the footage in post-production if you want to go that far. But just as a basic bit of information to start off for you beginners, turn the sharpness down to medium, it does look a little bit better. Next is a couple of settings I suggest you turn off because they can become a little annoying. It's not just a thing with Insta360 cameras, it's the same with GoPro and DJI. They all seem to go down this route. So the first one is the beep. When you turn the camera on, it will beep, and when you turn it off, it will beep, and when you start recording, it will beep. So I suggest you turn that off to start with. You can do this by going again into the settings by swiping down, going across to general, scroll down and you'll see a little setting that says prompt sound. I'll turn that off. That will turn that beep off, and every time you press the record button or turn the camera off, it won't beep anymore. So that's a good feature to turn off straight away. The second feature that I suggest you turn off is the indicator light. Well, a couple of reasons. Why? It's pretty bright on this Insta360 ONE RS. For example, I put it in my fridge the other day and I wanted to record myself opening the fridge, but you could see the blue light reflection inside the fridge to start with, and you don't really want that. You just want a dark scene. So that's one scenario where turning the indicator light off really helps. With this one, it's really easy to turn off. You swipe down from the top of the screen and the bottom right symbol is to turn the indicator blinker off. So you can turn it on and off. You can turn it on if you decide to turn the sound off. Sometimes one or the other of these works better and you don't mind that light, that's fine, because sometimes you want to know that you are recording, but it's really easy to turn off, and those are the two settings I turned off straight away. First setting to change on the Insta360 ONE RS is the audio settings. Now, Insta360 have admitted that the wind reduction mode is not ready yet, so what you need to do is change it straight away to stereo audio, and that way you'll get a lot better of an audio experience from your video. There is an update very soon, so that'll be updated in the next few weeks, but yeah, change your audio settings to stereo to get the best audio out of your Insta360 ONE RS. Another thing on the Insta360 ONE RS that is set to default is the screen auto turn off. Now, when you're recording, I want the screen to stay on. So what you need to do is go into settings, scroll down to auto turn off screen, and you can turn that on and off as well. So that's the fifth setting that I'd recommend turning off. It's just handy to have that screen on all the time. It of course reduces your battery life, not by much. The battery on the new Insta360 ONE RS is a lot better. It's 20% bigger than the previous version, so I've been impressed with the battery life so far, so you shouldn't have too many problems. But I like the screen to be left on, so that's the fifth setting that I'd recommend you turning on straight away. Let's talk about some of the other settings just before we finish this video as a little bonus, because this is packed full of features, this camera. It has a grid mode, so you can put the grid on the screen. Remember, this is a 48 megapixel camera, so it will take some decent photos, so that grid helps you frame up lines and get the composition right. It's really handy to have. Make sure that your horizon is level, sometimes in video. It really does help, so you can turn that on in the menu as well. This camera does have voice control as well, so you can turn that on and off. You can start recording and end recording. You can mark particular points in a video. You can also shut down the camera if it's on, so if you can do this, you can see it there. Shut down camera. And it will turn off. Just like so. So it is possible to use voice controls with this, so that is a handy feature. If you're using it hands-free and you haven't got remote control or anything, you can use voice commands. Quick capture is a good one if you're using it. You can turn this on and off in the menu as well. This just allows you, if the camera's off, just to press record on here and it instantly will start recording footage. I'd recommend you turning that off if you're not using the camera. It's in your pocket, because it will get pressed in your pocket and you'll have lots of dark footage that you never use, and the battery will be drained when you get to your destination. You'll wonder what happened. So yeah, make sure you turn off quick capture if you're not using it, but it's a very handy thing to have, especially if you're vlogging and you're out and about and you just want to start recording straight away. You can press record instead of having to turn the camera on and go through those different settings to start recording. You just press record and it will start quickly to capture whatever you want it to capture. Couple of quick features that you might not know about that you've got on this camera. On here you've got a little plus icon on the right hand side of the screen and a Q. The plus, if you swipe right over it, it will bring up the focal length, so you can change that whilst you're recording as well. You can do it live. It's called live zoom. You can go to 50mm all the way back to ultra wide 17mm, so that's a really cool little feature. Also, if you swipe right on the Q, those are the quick settings, so you can change your quick settings to whatever you use most often. So if you want the video to be set at 24 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second, and you use that all the time, then you can set those quick settings on the video bit there. So you just swipe across and you can change those quick settings to whatever you're using at the time. So you might not know about that, but those features are in there. There's lots of stuff packed into this camera. So that's it for this video. I hope it helped. If there's anything else you want to know, anything else you want me to test on this Insta360 ONE RS, I will do it. Let me know in the comments down below. This is a really good camera. The fact that it's modular and you can quickly swap it out and put the 360 lens on here. For me at the moment, it's the one I'm using, and it's very, very good, if not just as good as the GoPro 10. So check it out. I've done a couple of other videos comparing it to the GoPro 10. I will link that up above there if you want to go and watch that one as well. Really appreciate it. And that's it. Make sure you do subscribe before you leave if you've got value out of this video, and I'll see you on the next one very soon. See you soon, guys. Bye.